Florida is still one of the hardest hit states for home foreclosure. We all know that rising foreclosure rates have led to rising rates of homelessness. More than 2 years ago, the state of Florida received a $1 billion from the federal government's hardest hit fund. The purpose of that money was to provide relief to Florida homeowners experiencing difficulty due to home foreclosure. More than 10,000 Florida homeowners have applied for relief, but less than 100 have received relief. If elected, what would you do to provide real relief to Florida families facing foreclosure?
As a member of the Florida House of Representatives, I have worked with many people who were facing foreclosure. And we serve as an intermediary with the banks to get the loans modified so that they would have a longer period of time to pay or to change the interest rate to try to keep people in their homes, because what happens is when a home is vacant and the family is no longer there, you have squatters who come into the neighborhood, they vandalize the homes, the grass grows up, and it decreases and depreciates the value of the property of everyone else. So working with the banks to get them to modify the loan is one thing that I would do, in addition to looking at who actually owns the notes. That's one of the problems, because the banks have sold the notes and you many times can't determine who is the rightful owner of the mortgage. So dealing with that issue is something that I would work on as well in the Florida Senate.
What I would do if elected to deal with the foreclosure problem that we have in the state of Florida. Well, first of all, since the state has received the $1 billion, it's like those distressed mortgages, they haven't subsidized by the government. The first thing I would do, I would put a moratorium on foreclosure. Put a time where no foreclosure can happen, and have institutions revise the documents for those mortgages, determine if we have forced mortgages as an estate. And of course, the best thing to do is to create jobs. That's the only reason people are going to do foreclosures. Not only we've been having the problem of forced mortgage, forced documentation, and everything, but if people don't work, they're not earning money. That's why the go-to foreclosure is the first thing is that to create jobs for people to keep their house and help them to the bank with all the money that is there to help people with foreclosure.
People are losing their homes throughout Florida, and he hit it right on the nose when he said Florida is one of the hardest hit states facing this issue. And as a leader in the community, the first thing that we need to do on the Board of County Commissioners, I was thinking, I was like, am I done?
I zoned out.
The first thing we need to do as leaders is create a partnership with the banks and see if we can take a look at these mortgages and these loans and see if we can create a lower interest rate, making it more affordable for these people who are working diligently to stay in their homes and pay their mortgages. We need to make sure that we reward those people by showing up for them and seeing what we can do to make sure that we keep them in their homes. And then he also hit on the nose, we need to make sure that our economy is strong. And in District 3, we're facing some of the highest crime rates that you can see throughout the district. And you're not going to be able to grow your economy unless you're able to lower crime. So you need to get people back to work. You need to expand the economy, and then also we need to create leadership and a partnership with the banks in order to keep people in their homes. That needs to be one of our #1 priorities right now.
I'm a past president of the Orlando Regional Realtor Association, and I sell real estate. And I cannot tell you how many people I saw lose their homes firsthand. I probably helped this year, maybe, I'm going to be a little conservative and say probably around 55 people saved their homes by loan modifications. Some that didn't want to stay in their homes, I negotiated for them and got them thousands of dollars for keys for cash. where they could vacate their home with a few $1,000s, which is huge. One of the big things that I think we need to do is, as a commissioner, what I would do is put a pro bono team of 2, 3, 4, however many it took, attorneys together, and let them help the people modify. The problem is, if they want to go modify right now, it costs them thousands of dollars, and there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee you'll get modified, especially if you have 2 mortgages, either a first mortgage and an equity line, or a first and second. Property values are down, and it's very hard to go to a new bank because you're not going to get an appraisal to subsidize our values right now. It's just not going to happen. The vacancies are creating blight in the neighborhoods, they're creating code enforcement issues, and they're pulling up the property values down. So I think by putting a committee together with pro bono attorneys who do not get paid, but they want to help, they may even get credit toward their customer service hours or their education hours. I think that'll be a big help.
You know, the bottom line is this money needs to be released, and it needs to be released now. You know, families are suffering right now, and this money needs to get where it's most needed. And that's to the families that are suffering through foreclosure. And I know a lot about this. For 30 years I was in banking. I was the regional manager for Wells Fargo. I oversaw from Jacksonville to Miami, 26 branches, 250 employees. We were the top lender in the country. I'm very proud of what we did at Wells Fargo. We did not do subprime lending. We did not do high-risk mortgages. We did responsible loans that I think kept more people into homes. Wells Fargo currently is the #1 hard lender in the fact that they're doing the whole affordability refinance program, which gives more people flexibility to refinance to these historic low rates and keep their homes. But you know, this all boils down to, you know, your home is your single most important investment. I used to tell my loan officers that home is where your story begins. And we need to make sure that families get this money and more stories are told for their children and their children's children.